Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and a very warm welcome to Stuttgart, Germany. We're here at the Porsche Arena for the finals of the 2019 Adidas Rockstars. My name is Liam Lonsdale, and tonight I am joined by the one and only Sasha DeJulian. Sasha, good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Liam. We are in for a show tonight.
There is absolutely no doubt about it. And speaking of shows, let's sit back and enjoy this light show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Saturday, the 14th of September, and Stuttgart is ready! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Adidas Rockstars Finals 2019. It has been a hard season for all the athletes. Coming to Stuttgart after hard World Cup
Okay,
events.
Sasha, it's looking like that time of the evening when we start to see our athletes coming out. It's a real sense of finale this year, especially after the 21 different events running up to it. Ticket to Rockstars Global Series, 5 continents, 21 competitions with over 5,000 athletes. It's officially the biggest climbing competition in the world, and tonight we're left with 6. We're about to see them come out in just a second. I'm going to give you the honor of announcing the first one when they come. First up,
we've got Luška Rakovic from Slovenia.
Here she comes. Nope. We have Janja Gabra out first.
Well, here she comes for her 2-minute inspection.
There we go.
And that is Janja.
Seems that we both had the wrong idea there, but never mind.
Well, Janja was qualified first from semifinals.
Indeed she was. Next athlete coming. None other than the one and only Japanese Miho Nanaka.
From Japan, 7th at the World Championship in Nationality 2019, 1st at the Asian Championship in
Coming up now, we have Futaba Ito from Japan. She is only 17 years old.
Absolutely incredible performance in the semi-finals. Really exceptional climber. Very interesting to watch. Great movement. Another athlete following her. Another Japanese climber, only 15 years old. Absolute savage, this young lady. Destroyed the boulders. Was one of only 3 to flash all 4 boulders in the qualifiers. Ai Mori out next.
She is our youngest competitor at only 16 years old. Coming up next from the UK, we have Great Britain's own. She stamped her ticket already to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. We have Shauna Coxey.
We do indeed have Shauna Coxey. Amazing semi-finals from her. She's already posted a photo on Instagram of what she did on one of the boulders, the 3rd boulder. Some very interesting beats. Go check that one out after this is finished, because definitely worth a laugh. We have our last athlete out now, qualified in 6th. Current gold medalist, in fact, in... oh no, she wasn't. Do you know? Luška Rakovic is out next. Amazing, strong Slovenian, 18 years old. She's not Urska, that's a different climber.
She qualified 6th going into finals, and she will be out first as the competitors.
Indeed, she climbed so well in the semi-finals. Totally deserves that place amongst a hard group of climbers and a very tough set of boulders, Sasha. Okay, now we have the men.
Now on the men's side, we will be having the top qualified male from Austria, Florian Klingler.
Absolutely incredible performance from him. Flo Klingler totally bossed that first round. Next athlete out, another amazing climber. He's won World Cups and he placed second in the semi-finals, all the way from Slovenia, 24 years old, Gregor Vezanik. No, it isn't that, it's Jongwon Chom. We're going in reverse order.
We are doing reverse order,
well,
so the top
we're going in the right order. They've thrown me.
Coming out next is another Japanese climber, one of the 3 to qualify for finals in the top 6. 20 years old, Kai Harada.
Well, Sasha's getting them right, so that makes one of us. Great to see Kai Harada out there, world champion from 2016. Next out, another Japanese climber, took a gold medal this year in Vail. So psyched to see him back. Sasha, tell me, am I right? Am I right by saying Yoshiyuki Ogata?
You are correct.
Anyone think we didn't have a script? I have a script in front of me.
Second of the 3 Japanese climbers we have in finals tonight.
Indeed we do. Amazing climber, great style, great movement.
Next up, we have from Slovenia, 24 years old, Gregor Vezanik. He qualified second in semifinals and will be climbing, I believe, 5th.
Gregor Vezanik took a gold medal, first of his career back in Munich in 2018.
Liam, who do we have coming up next?
Just by sheer process of elimination, Sasha, I'm going to go with Kokoro Fuji, but honestly, I can't promise anything.
This is our third of 3 male Japanese climbers in the final 6.
So just to recap on those athletes, we have Ilushka Rakovic, Shauna Coxey, Aya Mori, Futaba Ito, Miho Nanaka and Yanya Garnbrett. And in the men's, we have Kokoro Fuji, Gregor Vezanik, Yoshiyuki Ogata, Kai Harada, Chun Jong-won, and Florian Klingler. Those athletes are about to go into observation in just a second. They have 2 minutes to look at each boulder. They'll switch from boulder to boulder. They often share beater. It's a really nice part of the competition process, this. And I believe this is the time when you get to see where our little booth is over at the side of the wall. So there they go, heading over to block number 1.
Okay.
Hey folks, Liam Lonsdale here, joined by Sasha De Julian. Sasha, this is our little space. We've got our information, we've got our start lists, which were in the right order. We have our scripts, very important. Tell me, how excited are you about tonight on a scale of 1 to 10?
I am very excited about tonight. This will be a very tight show. All of the competitors that are qualified are amazing competitors, and it'll be tight. Every single try will count.
It absolutely will, and those 6 athletes in both the men and the women are some of the very best in the world. I personally cannot wait. Let's take a look over there at the competition wall and see what they're up to. Okay, so Kokoro Fuji there, right up next to the boulders. The athletes getting up close and personal. They can touch the start holds, but they can't leave the ground.
And during this process, it's really important for each competitor to figure out their sequence.
And speaking of sequences, the people that put those holds on the wall are indeed the route setters. And what a team you have. There's head route setter Laurent Larry Laporte. He's the owner of Cheetah Holds, one of the sponsors, and a real genius at his craft. There is Manu Hassler of Switzerland, owner of Flathold, joint owner. Again, another very creative climber, very creative route setter. There is Felix Buchmann, and just behind him, hiding, that's Matteo Laporte. Absolutely waddaged little young lad. He's actually the son of Larry Laporte. And then following him, there he is, Adam Pustelnik from Poland. Brilliant setter. I mean, I'm saying this about everyone. This just gives you an idea of the caliber of setters. There's Tomasz Olekski, amazing setter from Poland. Kadi Lehmann, first European woman and one of only 2 women in the world to have folded Font 8C. There is our very own ninja, Sukuru Hori of Japan. Unbelievably strong athlete, former World Cup climber. And then last but by no means least, where is she? Where is she? She'll be there somewhere. That's a little hint of what we'll be seeing later on. Very interesting styles. I mean, you can just see there that volume setup with a jamming crack inside, not dissimilar to what we saw in Meiringen. You just get an idea of how often these route setters have to try. And there she is, our final route setter, Melissa Leneve of France, Adidas athlete, pro climber, total savage.
During this process, the men are checking out their boulder problems. They need to figure out the sequence, try and unlock what they're going to do during their short period of time that they have to get to the top.
Indeed. And you can see, you're getting a glimpse of all the boulders now. See some holds piggybacked onto the volumes, some screw-ons fixed on there as well. Some touching volumes over in the back there, creating some crazy undercut moves. Good mix of holds from Cheetah and Morpho. Core, flat hold. Really nice set. And the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that we have a brand new climbing structure this year. We've switched from 2 doors down to 1. We've switched all of our angles. It's a literal ground-up rebuild. It's also very unique. You can see it going up there with the scaffolding for a few reasons, one of which is the wall is dual texture. It's the first dual texture competition wall in an international competition. It has various high friction and then zero friction surfaces. And the idea of that is to be able to force sequences in different ways where the athletes can or can't use the friction on the wall to their advantage. There are the 3 designers, Mike Harmel, the event director in the center there, and with his counterparts on either side, guys from BEIJNG Climbing did an amazing job. Lauren Lepore also had a big part in the design process of this wall, so that gives you some perspective. It was from an event perspective in Mike's sense, it was from a construction perspective in BEIJNG's sense, and then Larry bringing that route setter's eye, saying this is what we will set the best blocks on, and that is where we ended up with it. And there are the route setters bringing those holds from all those different brands.
And here is Melissa Leneve putting some volumes into the wall. Melissa is a really strong competitor herself. She had amazing success on the World Cup circuit and actually was a finalist in the Adidas Rockstars competition up until she retired from competitions 2 years ago.
Yeah, Melissa Leneve, absolutely. Just an all-rounder, you know. She's climbed big walls, she's climbed hard sport, she's projecting one of the hardest routes in the world right now. Can't tell you which one it is. Pretty sure everybody knows. She's bouldered AB Plus in Fontainebleau. You know, there's few women that can claim the results and also the ascents that she has. Right. Over the years, do you know we're in our 9th year now, Sasha? 9 years.
9 years. You know, I competed in 2011 at the first Adidas Rockstars event.
There it is. First one, Anna Stur was in the finals, along with Alex Puccio. It was Anna that got to the top first. That was back in Ötztal. Kilian Fischhuber was against Dmitry Sharafutinov in that first year. Great to see those faces, and in fact, Dmitry competed here today. No buzzer for him tonight, though.
You can notice the evolution of the climbing holds themselves as you watch this archival footage.
Next year, 2012, Alex Puccio was against Akio Noguchi. It was, of course, Alex that powered through, came out on top that year. Same year, he's here tonight, and no superfinal for him either, but John Cardwell and Sean McCall competing in superfinal And it was Sean that was on the top. Three-time winner.
Three-time winner. He was trying to go for his four-peat.
Following year, 2013, here in Stuttgart, Shauna Coxey was against Jule Worm. Toronto was sick that year, I remember it well, and it was Jule that came out on top. In the men's competition, the Russian rocket himself, Rustam Gelmanov, was against Jerne Kruder of Slovenia.
Jerne Kruder was here competing today in semifinals.
Last year's winner, no less. And that was his first win at Rockstars 2013. I think he was happy about it.
I think he just headbutted the buzzer.
Such good footage. Following year, 2014, again here in Stuttgart, Mina Markovic and Akio Noguchi. Slovenia versus Japan. It was, of course, Akio that came out on top. She was psyched, nearly pulled the buzzer off. And then his catalogue of seconds, Chun Jung-won was against Sean McCall. Of course, it was Sean that won that year. Chun placing second, even though he thought he'd won. And then, 2015, the iconic year, Akio Noguchi and Megan Mascarenhas toe first. Megan Mascarenhas topped that one. No one saw that coming. I'll never forget that. And then another year of Sean McCall, Rei Sugimoto of Japan against Sean. Continued victorious. 3 wins for Sean McCall over the years. 2016, Jesse Pilz and Janja Garnbrett. They ran out of time in the end, and it was literally a battle of the fittest. Janja struggled her way to the top, and you see that exhaustion in her face. She competed against Jesse and won, and that happened today as well. And then, of course, it was Jan Hoyer and Tomoa Narazaki. Tomoa shot up that wall so fast. 2017, Puccio was back, and she was competing against Janja. It was Puccio that came out victorious. And then that was the year that Tomoa battled Chun Jung-won, and another silver medal for Chun. Tomoa Narazaki, just too quick for him. And then, of course, last year, Miho Nonaka versus Alex Puccio. Miho Nonaka in great form. So strong through those difficult moves, and Alex was right behind her. But when Alex fell, Miho knew all she had to do was hold on. And there it was, a very quick top. And Miho's first Rockstars win. And this was one of my favorite superfinals. Jerne Kruder and Chun Jung-won, friends on and off the circuit, did a little dance to start. Jerne was up there quicker than Chun. And took the win. No celebration this year, just big hugs. It seemed they were both happy just to be there. Absolutely brilliant finale, and we hope for something just as good, if not better, this evening. So there are the athletes running back into the transition zone and then into the athlete lounge. Tell us about the athlete lounge, Sasha.
In the athlete lounge is where the competitors will be kept in isolation from the boulder problems themselves. They've had their 2-minute per boulder preview, and now they need to remember those sequences and go out at game time with strategy and in order to complete them.
Indeed, and if you're wondering what the route setters are doing there, they have 1 man and 1 woman super boulder up so they can see them, and then they have to put the women's super boulder up so they're ready for... Oh no, maybe they're tweaking it. No, they're changing it. I think we're good. Anyway.
I believe they slightly changed the women's super boulder to the men's. They essentially just make it a little bit harder.
Ah, okay, interesting. So, there you go. Route setters just making those final tweaks. Let's quickly talk through those starters one more time. Qualifying in first place in the men's, it was a bit of a surprise to himself and to everybody, but a great great effort rather, from Florian Klingler. Really, really strong on that first boulder, and yeah, just kept that form going all the way through. What do we know about him, Sasha?
Florian Klingler, he came first in the European Youth Cup in 2017 in bouldering, and he came 25th in Meringen and BEIJNG this year in bouldering.
So really, you know, to say, okay, he came 25th twice this year, to come up first in semi-finals, that's a pretty remarkable result, and he's through now to the last 6. Can I ask you to call it now, or is it too early to tell? Who's going to win?
I can't call it, Liam. I have to remain unbiased. However, I can put in some insight to the fact that Jongwon Chon was in the superfinals last year.
He was, and he's been in the superfinal 3 times. And I've seen his trophy cabinet in Songdo in Korea, and he has 3 silver stars. He doesn't want any more. He wants a gold one.
Well, Jongwon Chon is 4th in the World Cup overall ranking and 5th in the world ranking.
Setters there, just tidying up, finishing things off. Getting ready for this final. Look at that crack there. We're getting a good glimpse of it on the right-hand side. Cheetah volumes in a diamond formation, and it looks like inside there are some holes as well, so they can really lock those thumbs in behind the palm.
It'll be really interesting to see how the male boulderers approach that problem, because it kind of looks like there could be some crack climbing in this finals.
I think that's fair to say, and of course, if you do pay attention to the World Cup circuits, in Meiringen earlier this year, the first competition of the World Cup season, the route setters did set a jamming crack. Jamie Cassidy and Manu Hassler actually went to the flat holds factory the week before and cast a unique, one-of-a-kind hold to go inside this crack so that it was low friction, basically so the climbers didn't tear their hands up when they were jamming. And of course, nobody really had any luck with it apart from the winner, which was Adam Ondra, who made it look like the V1.
No surprise there.
It was amazing. We know that he can climb outside, and we know that he can jam.
So we've got the start list here. First out, we'll have Luška Rekovic from Slovenia, followed by Shauna Coxey, Aimori, Futaba Ito, Miho Nanaka, and then the one and only Yanya Gambre.
Indeed we will, and all 6 of those girls have a chance of being in with those super final stats. Only one way to find out who it's going to be, and there's the men's start list. Kokoro Fuji, Gregor Vezonik, Yoshiyuki Ogata, Kai Harada, Jongwon Chon, and Florian Klingler. I mean, we have World Cup winners amongst that, multiple World Cup winners. We have a world champion amongst that. This is going to be one hell of a final.
So the scoring is going to be first number of tops, followed by number of zones, then number of attempts to top, and then number of attempts to zone. And if there happens to be a tie there, it will be the last highest point.
Sasha, did you get a chance to look at these boulders before we started?
These boulder problems, we did have a brief viewing of them. They definitely are very compression-based. They will require a lot of agility and strength and also technique.
So here come the 2 first athletes, Luška Rakovic and Kokoro Fuji.
Kokoro Fuji is another Japanese athlete.
3, 2, 1, and here we go, the Adidas Rockstars final.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we begin. Kokoro Fuji getting straight in there with a brush. Luška Rakovic pulls on to women's 1.
Luška qualified 7th in the Bouldering World Cup overall in 2018.
Really nice use of those stacked volumes there to create 3 dimensions on the wall. Places that left heel just below her hand there on that screw on. Oh, and that's the little pop of the heel there.
You can notice that there's 2 screw-ons on the side of that volume. That's what she was putting her heel hook on, but she didn't manage to get her weight over to the left enough to grab that zone hold.
konkret definiert an jedem Boulder. Füße und Hände, 2 Striche unten an den Pyramiden.
The athletes all have 4 minutes.
Kokoro Fuji came 3rd at the World Cup overall in 2019.
So once again, folks, we are right now into the first heat. On the right-hand side, the 18 years old from Slovenia. So that is the Europe Youth Championship versus on the men's side, Kokoro Fuji. Being one of the top athletes. Run at the World Cup overall in 2016.
So here goes Kokoro.
Here we go. Come on, Kokoro.
Kokoro chose to skip that zone hold en route to the top, which is actually a risky move, considering falls to zone are actually really important.
But what we didn't see off camera was that he had the zone. So Luška Rakovic reaches up to take the zone.
And she's opted out of the left heel hook this time. See if she can move her body weight over to the left in order to get this Gaston.
Let's go for Ariane Gons.
So Kokoro just taking a second. He knows that he can get up there nice and high.
The strategy that each competitor has with their allotment of time is really important because they need to decide after they've fallen when they want to get back on the wall. Every fall counts, so there's something to be said about getting as many tries in as possible to have as much of a chance as possible, but also you want to save your energy.
Just kind of hanging there, campusing between the moves. Up into that backhand on the underside of that blue volume. Oh, and he's back down on the mats.
Luška secures that zone hold and is trying to move her body weight over to the left.
Gets the crimp with the right hand. Oh, and she just pops out of that left.
It
Very
looked like
powerful.
she rushed it a little bit. She didn't move over to the left in time to get her body over.
Opposing Gaston's fierce.
And this men's problem doesn't really pay too friendly to the feet.
All the fingers by the looks of it. 25 seconds remaining for Kokoro Fuji.
After Bruno Montenegro, come on everybody, 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Kokoro is using all the time that he has to have as much of a chance as possible to get to the top.
Luška Rakovic calls it a day with the zone. Kokoro Fuji also with the zone, but no top. Which means we go through to our next athlete. The ladies, we'll be seeing Great Britain's Shauna Coxey.
Yeah, she's already stamped her ticket to the Tokyo Olympics next year. Then on the men's side, we have Gregor BEIJNG from Slovenia.
Kokoro Fuji so strong in that move, but couldn't quite get enough pressure through the core and then up through the hand to stake that move.
After these competitions, the competitors are going to be very sore from these falls.
Thankfully, we have the Reload Center with physios dedicated to helping our athletes out, Adidas Rockstars, supplying 6 of the best physios in Germany from Dr. Volker Schoffel's clinic. There she is, Great Britain's Shauna Coxey.
Shauna Coxey has a pattern of not necessarily qualifying first in semifinals, but often she knows how to turn it up in finals.
She does indeed. Performs extremely well under pressure. And there is Gregor BEIJNG.
The member of the British Empire, Shauna Coxey.
So, stands up onto that volume to begin. Whoa.
Shauna Coxey is trying to get up onto these volumes. See if she opts for
Powerful shoulder move there to reach down. Nice toe hook.
A toe hook's a smart decision because she can maximize her height while holding her tension. Now she needs to walk her feet over.
Strong to that hold there. That first of the two Gastons. Oh, and just pops out. Very strong first attempt.
Two opposing Gastons with a really low foot has a lot of strain on the shoulder blades.
Of course, Shauna had that nasty shoulder injury in 2016, I believe, and a nasty finger injury in the last couple of years, but seems to be in fighting form. She placed third in the World Championships in bouldering this year. Absolutely amazing work from her to come back from those injuries.
Here we go, come on, Stuttgart, let's hear it for Gregor Vesonik.
And here is Gregor Vesonik. Small crimp on that right hand, you can see. Squeezing with the thumb. Oof, doesn't quite hit it.
He seems to be falling out from the wall and not really holding his tension as well as Kokoro Fuji did.
Here we go, Shauna Coxey.
Sie ist ja eigentlich irgendwie vertraut mit solchen Situationen, aber wir haben es bei der Athletenvorstellung bei allen gesehen, dieses Bild, diese Fans direkt vor ihm.
Shauna Coxey, Liam, is a really smart climber. She knows how to pace herself on her approach to the boulder problems, not waste attempts, and maximize the time that she has.
Yeah, she really knows what she's doing, and that's something, you know, when you get to climb with these climbers, you really see that that intuition, that knowledge, confidence in self, confidence in ability.
Here we go, come on, let's hear it, Stuttgart, Shauna Coxey.
Rolls over herself to take that right hand.
Shauna Coxey makes use of those screw-ons on that blue volume with her hands and her feet.
A little flick of the foot there. I don't think it was intentional, but it kept her on.
See if she can move her hips over to the left and hold that Gaston, just misses it.
Really have to stand up so hard into that move. Gregor Vesonik with a minute remaining says no thank you. Shauna's considering it.
Every top matters so much, but this women's #1 and men's #1 has yet to see a top.
45 seconds, come on everybody, let's get it.
Here she goes.
Come on, Shauna.
Shauna says thank you. It's not to be for her today. Not on that boulder anyway. And just in case you aren't familiar with the Rockstars format at home, all 6 athletes get to climb the first 2 boulders. Then 3 athletes get to climb the 3rd boulder, and only 2 athletes get to climb the 4th boulder. So all of these athletes really need as many zones and as tops as they can get if they want to be in with a chance of getting into that 3rd boulder, which then can propel them into the superfinal.
So far, leading the women is Shauna Coxey after that first boulder of the 2 competitors because she got the zone first.
Yeah, flash to the zone. Great work from Shauna Coxey securing first place so far. 4 more ladies to climb, 4 more men to climb.
It is rare that the first 2 boulder problems really matter as much as they do.
Yeah, I mean in this it's all or nothing in those first 2. Next athlete out, Sasha, for Japan in the men's is Yoshiyuki Ogata.
And on the women's side, we have Ai Mori, who's only 16 years old, the youngest competitor in the field from Japan.
She's not only the youngest, but also one of the shortest as well, so she's quite an ingenious climber. I would say she climbs way ahead of her years. Such intuitive movement, really quite smart when it comes to just pulling things out of the bag. She's a bit of a genius. Here is Yoshiyuki Ogata, took gold medal in Vail, his first earlier this year.
Yoshi Ogata.
Letztes Jahr bei Adidas Rockstars.
Gamba Yoshi.
Erneuter
it seems a little bit like the zone isn't advantageous for the rest of the boulder problem on the men's side. Aimori was one of 3 competitors to flash the boulders going into from qualifiers to semifinals.
Steps across on that stacked volume, reaches over into that right-hand gas stop. Ooh, looks like it might go.
You know, it's unique to watch each competitor on these problems because each of them are different heights, different body builds, different strengths and weaknesses, and so they're also competing on the same boulder problems. So to see their approach is really interesting. Aimori is probably the shortest of the competitors.
Pretty sure she is indeed the shortest competitor.
Aimori schon wieder in der Wand am Runde 1. Nummer 1. Hier Sätze. Sehen ist kein Problem. Da war die rechte Hand.
There goes Aimori into that right hand crimp.
You can see
stacking
that.
those fingers.
That
She sticks it!
Aimori matches that little crimper and seems to really have been the first woman to complete women's number 1.
Amazing work from Aimori. Topping that boulder in fine style. We said it earlier, she's one to watch. She just proved us right.
While she may be the youngest competitor and the shortest, she is definitely dynamic and very powerful.
So all eyes on her teammate and compatriot Yoshiyuki Ogata, who opts for a feet first method.
Foot first and a toe hook may actually be the solution to hold this compression.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Look at him go. Sticks that pinch with the right hand, matches him with the left. The crowd are going absolutely wild here. He throws up to the top edge. And there it is, 2 hands, ladies and gentlemen, our first top in the men's competition. From Japan, it's Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Now we have this standard set. Both boulder problems have been completed. Tops are first to count.
So Aimori and Yoshiyuki Ogata sitting in that first place. See that replay? So strong in the undercut. Aimori gets deep on the bicep, cranks that right hand to catch the left in control. Even with that little match there, such nice movement, rolling over herself in that high right foot. Really very, very clever climbing.
The goal of the route setter is to create a separation in the field and to have, ideally, each boulder problem be completed, but not be completed by too many competitors. So the fact that we've seen both a male ascent and a female ascent on the respective boulder is significant.
Guck mal, der steht doch so, als wenn er von Adidas Rockstars gewonnen hätte. Wahnsinn.
So here we go, ready for our next athlete. Who we got out next? Sasha and the ladies.
In the men's, coming out first is Kai Harada, and on the women's side, we have Futaba Ito.
Awesome, here they come, there he is, Kai Harada, bouldering world champion last year in Innsbruck.
Three, two, one, turn around.
Futaba Ito out on the right hand side for the ladies.
Futaba Ito doing a quick resequence of the boulder problem to know exactly where she's going. As you can see with the double tape on both of those volumes, it means she needs to have 2 hands and 2 feet on each of those respective boulder problems.
Reaches down for that left hand crimp. Whoa. Sasha, that was insane. Really strong on that right hand. So static.
You can tell that body tension that she holds, but
Couldn't
just
quite
not,
keep it going.
not quite enough far left to hold that little Gaston.
There is Kai Harada. Best result this season was silver medal, second place in BEIJNG.
This is the third Japanese climber we have out for the men. See, he's eyeing this 360 sequence that we just saw.
Wow, that caught attention there. Futaba Ito shaking out on the mats, taking a moment just to compose herself, knows that she can get up there. Just has to execute. Maybe a little bit more flow through that bottom sequence so that she can isolate in the top, Sasha. What do you think?
Yeah, Futaba Ito got to the zone hold her first try. However, it seems like she needed to move her body a little bit over, adjust her hips, and she slips getting the zone this time.
Well ranked 4th this year. Best result was 5th in Chongqing.
Futaba Ito also won the Asian Championships, which, as you can see in the field, clearly not an easy feat to do in 2018.
Back to Kai Harada. Campuses that first move.
You can see such a body compression in those holds.
Futaba Ito reaching down again. Will she opt to use that toe hook this time? No, still stands up again, static over that right shoulder. Ooh, little slip.
Futaba Ito fights to regain her composure and crimps down on that little Gaston.
Looking for that right foothold, but I mean, holding those absolutely filthy crimps and then just waving your foot around, that cannot be fun.
Something that you can notice as the competitors approach their boulder problems is figuring out when to rest and when to go and give their try. Back on the wall.
Kai Harada opts to go into that backhand again. Big press, switches it to 2 undercuts, and now he's on the slopers. Whoa, and he almost sticks it, takes a big crater into the mats.
Futaba Ito is determined to get that next Gaston, but her right foot can't seem to stay on.
10 seconds remain for these athletes. Looks like they're going to call it a day.
And that's just about time for these two competitors.
So we have 2 more athletes joining us. 2 of the favorites for the superfinal, according to our live studio guests.
Veteran competitors Jongwon Chon of Korea for the men.
And in the ladies, Miho Nanaka.
Last year's champion.
Indeed she was.
Jung, 19 und 20 Jahre, schon so erfolgreich.
You can see a replay here of almost a head press into that big volume.
You actually get bonus points for using your head in this competition. That's not true. For all of the very literal amongst you.
Zum ersten Mal Tokio, olympische Disziplin. Eine Medaille wird vergeben in Paris 2024 sind es dann 2. So, Mori, Coxey, Ito, Rakovic, kurzes Mini-Ranking, bevor es hineingeht in die nächste Runde.
Sasha, let me give you a quick rundown of those results so far. 4th place in the ladies, Lushka Rakovic. Then Futaba Ito and Shauna Coxey tied for 2nd. Ai Mori in definitive 1st place. The men's competition, Gregor Vezonik in 4th. Another tie for 2nd in the men's, Kai Harada and Kokoro Fuji. And then it's Yoshiyuki Ogata again, a definitive 1st with the only top so far. And we're waiting for our next 2 athletes. As we've just said, Chon Jong-won of Korea and Miho Nanaka of Japan. Here they come.
if these next competitors come out and do this boulder, then they'll be putting themselves in good standing to qualify for the third boulder after elimination. Miho is such a powerful yet graceful climber. I love watching her. She has really good style.
So here they go, turning around.
Der sehnsüchtige Blick ins Publikum. Jongwon schon totaler Publikumsliebling. Miyonaka ebenfalls die Titelverteidigerin. Jongwon schon dreimal Zweiter. Der hat ein Projekt.
So Miho deep over that right shoulder.
Miho Nanaka finds that screw on and demonstrates another toe hook.
Taking a moment to shake out, training for the lead comps.
And she slips, just going to that zone. Jeongwon Chong compresses his backward Gaston, but then slips off.
Und haute den Wasser. Und jetzt brauchen die beiden eure Unterstützung, Stuttgart. Come on, let's hear it. Both need your support, everybody. Miyonaka and Jongwon Chong.
So, Chon Jong-won.
Und so ziehst ja schon dran am Sieg. Achtung, Chong hat gewonnen. Die erste Idee hat er. Jetzt guckt er genau, wie es weitergeht von dort aus.
Miho Nanaka now reaches down with that left hand, opts for the heel, up pops. To remember, these athletes haven't seen the method that the others have used. They have no idea what they actually have to do. All they have is the discussions that they had right at the beginning in the observation round.
The holds also on that stage are definitely getting chalky and greasy, so you can see that you'll want to brush them, definitely. Jeongwon Chong creates some opposition to his shoulder power between these two holds. While he's really tall, he's also a very flexible climber, which is impressive. See if he can use his height to his advantage as he has to make this next dynamic move.
He's actually pressing his knee against the hold there and almost stuck it. It wasn't a proper knee bar, it was just like a knee hook.
Miho Nanaka is trying to figure out how if she should use her heel hook or her toe hook. Shauna Coxey didn't use a heel nor a toe, she actually just toed down. Miho Nanaka climbing on women's number 1, trying out a new foot sequence. She secures the zone.
Here we go.
Takes the right hand crimp. Up into the left hand. Oh, and just pops off there. Time for another go, but I'm not sure she's going to take it.
Jeongwon Chong.
4 Minuten scharf heißt, dass das Top innerhalb dieser 4 Minuten erreicht sein muss. Der Boulder nicht mehr zu Ende geklettert werden.
Really pinching down on that left hand.
Oh, outside calf bar.
That's
Yeah, he stuck it! Oh my gosh, I thought he was
that's a new technique that I've seen.
I mean, you can't question his out-of-the-box thinking.
The calf bar.
The outside calf bar. Miho Nanaka and Jeongwon Chon unsuccessful, so only Ai Mori and Yoshiyuki Ogata with tops. I wonder what that means for the superfinal. Is this a little premonition that we're getting here, a sign of things to come? Who's going to be stood on the top later? Only one way to find out.
John Montron creating some opposition. First the toe hook didn't work, and now he does a calf bar. Doesn't seem like he gets just high enough on that orange pinch.
So we have one more rotation.
Right now, we're going to be ready for the next heat. From Austria, winner of the semi-final, Florian Klingler versus, or in that heat together with the extraterrestrial Janja Garnbret.
So first place qualifiers, Sasha Florian Klingler and Janja Garnbret.
Janja Garnbret had an undefeated bouldering World Cup season and 3 gold medals at the last World Championships in Japan. She is such an incredibly graceful climber, dynamic, powerful, the whole package.
Absolutely one of the best climbers in the world, male or female, no doubts about it. Total all-rounder, one of the most tenacious you'll find.
You can really see her crimping down on that small crimp undercling.
At least pretend you're trying, Janja. Give us a break. Reaches up for the top sloper. High left foot on the volumes. And flashes.
With ease. I think Janja is starting to make us see which women are competing for second.
That's what, when the haters speak, that's what Janja does. Unbelievable. Has she even broken a sweat?
I don't think so.
Florian Klingler over there on men's number 1. Absolutely amazing.
Florian Klingler, 25th in the World Cups, but did a really amazing performance here in Rockstars so far. Made it to finals, and let's see if he can figure this problem out.
He's always had the potential as well, Sasha. You know, you can't... we've already kind of said it, but the field is so stacked. Just because he's not won, you know, you don't write these climbers off. They just need things to go their way. I mean, look at Jerne Kruder, Gabriele Moroni. They were competing for 10, 13, 15 years before they got their first ever medals, both of which were golds.
And Florian Klingler holds the compression as he campuses up onto this not positive black hold.
Just need it to go your way that once, and the gold can be yours. Florian Klingler taking a moment.
Florian Klingler is taping his fingertips. These holds are so new and abrasive. It's kind of like the competitors are rubbing their hands on sandpaper and then having to go back and repeat it.
Here he goes again. Little loose in the shoulder there. There you see, tightens it up, much stronger position. Feet first and controls the zone.
The beta really seems to create that 360 compression, so you can move your toe hook in and maneuver your body around these really sloping holds.
Oh, double toe, and he almost caught it there, just lost his core. Very, very close, Florian Klingler. Full house here in Stuttgart at the Porsche Arena.
It's a Saturday night with live music and an incredible show of climbers.
So, wir sind hinter dir so, voll bei dir. Auf geht's.
So, mittlerweile hat sich die Feinstaubbelastung in der Porsche Arena wieder erhöht. Come on, everybody.
Florian Klingler, you can see just how muscular he is. He's a really powerful climber.
And also defeated on this boulder. It's pretty
Defeated on the
exhausted.
boulder.
And there, of course, Janja Garnbret pathing this boulder Looked like somebody'd give her a few steps to get up there. It was that easy. No grimace, no effort in the face.
With that flash, it puts Janja in first, moving on from the first boulder problem.
Absolutely does. 2 women top, only 1 man top on the first boulder. Janja with the only flash. There are those results. 6th through 1st, Miho Nanaka, Luška Rakovic, Futaba Ito, Shauna Coxey, Aimori and Janja Garnbret. As it stands, top 3 going in, Shauna Coxey, Aimori and Janja Garnbret. Everything can change on the second boulder. The men's, Gregor Vezanik, Florian Klingler, Kai Harada, Kokoro Fuji, Chun Jong-won and Yoshiyuki Ogata, and you see that cut-off. Sasha, we have 2 minutes now to look at some of the highlights from those first boulders. We're going to give it some space, stay nice and quiet, and let the folks enjoy.
Für die zweite Runde und ein Riesenlauf für die erste Runde für unsere Athleten. Wir sind beginnt und freuen sich, euch dort hinten zu hören.
So we're now back to the athletes. Back to boulder number 2. All the way around into a second complete rotation. Sasha, who have we got out first?
Coming out first, we'll have Luška Rakovic from Slovenia, as well as Kokoro Fuji from Japan. This second boulder problem will be the second deciding factor of who moves on to the third boulder. Only the top 3 of the 6 competitors will move to this next boulder.
Zweiter Boulder. Luška Rakovic.
Luška achieved the zone on the first boulder. Let's see if she can get a top.
Das ist ein ganz, ganz klasse Boulder. Ich glaube, den hatte Melissa in die Wege gesetzt.
Ja, die Handschrift der Kämpfer ziemlich gut. Schön Rhythmus, schön dynamisch.
Ja, 2 dynamische Boulder. Dynamische Boulder bei den Damen, dynamische Boulder bei den Herren. Wenn man rüberkommt auf die linke Seite.
So Luška Rakovic hops across, just misses there.
This boulder problem requires a run and jump a lot of agility. Climbing competitions are somewhat related to parkour these days, at least when you see bouldering. It's becoming very volume oriented, and you need to generate your momentum in the direction that you're going.
And here we go.
Kokoro Fuji just struggling with that move there. Lushka Rakovic lines it up. Big swing with that left foot and the left arm behind her to get the momentum going.
She needs to coordinate her left hand to get that zone hold in time as her hips and her feet push off that left black volume.
Seems like Kokoro Fuji's holding that left glute there, or possibly hamstring. Lushka Rakovic bouncing down onto the mat.
Kokoro Fuji gearing up for this compression.
Oh, almost sticks that zone. Really interesting to watch how each different climber does it, but let's see how Lushka, this time keeping that left hand forward instead of swinging it behind her.
Looked like her right hand kind of slipped off that last hold.
I really love that they managed to keep variety within the boulders as well. You know, I think last year and the year before, across the whole season, parkour became so prevalent, and now I feel like it's dialed back a little bit. There's a good mix between boulders like this and then some of the more powerful ones like we saw first off.
Kokoro Fuji really needs to land his foot on that hold. Lushka trying to land her left foot to move her body over.
Kokoro Fuji, almost stuck that one. The left foot didn't quite land onto that stacked flat hold just on top of the cheetah volume. "45 seconds remain."
Lushka's eyeing up where she needs to go. She knows where her foot needs to land.
Oh, very composed though.
Kokoro Fuji swings his left foot over. It looks like a press against that cheetah volume.
Pushing into that undercut position now. Gains the momentum. Oh, it just slips off.
And that top is going to cost him. He was so close.
10 seconds left for Lushka Rakovic and Kokoro Fuji. Not enough time. She's going anyway, just for the zone. Oh, and it's not going to count, but that was incredibly close there. Amazing work. Big smiles from both athletes. Do you know how close they were?
Next up, Liam, we are going to have Great Britain's own Shauna Coxey, as well as Slovenia's Gregor Vesenik.
Excellent. You see the joy in her face. That's one of the fun things about this competition. Often, the frustration isn't there, it's just happiness. They love the boulders. The climbers really love what the setters are doing, and so it's smiles of frustration as opposed to anger.
It's really exhausting to be in a bouldering round. You essentially have this set short period of time to put all of your maximal effort into each boulder problem. Out come the next competitors. Let's see what Shauna Coxey can do with this boulder.
Cool as a cucumber, as per usual. Shauna Coxey strolls out onto the mat.
3, 2, 1, turn around.
Gregor Vesenik. Very good at this dynamic style. Generally the Slovenians are, I have to say. The Slovenian guys really have a way of bouncing through these boulders.
Gregor Vesenik wastes no time to get on the wall.
Ja, Gregor wird ebenfalls zu den Athleten, die über sich hinauswachsen können. Bei Adidas Rockstars genauso wie bei der Weltmeisterschaft in Innsbruck.
Come on, Shauna.
Shauna Coxey doesn't seem to gather enough momentum as she's moving across those footholds to jump up and get that zone.
Yes.
Whoa. Really good height in that black volume there. It kind of caught me off guard how high he got. And then almost needed to drop down onto that crimp. I feel like that's a hard move.
So entspannt sein, wie er es schon geschafft hat. Jetzt schon zu wissen, ich bin qualifiziert. Ganz andere Saison.
Shauna Coxey is attempting to go left hand on the blue.
I feel like just logical that she would need to go the other way around.
Yeah.
But we'll see. She usually has method to the madness.
That's an interesting strategy that Gregory has.
Here we go, Shauna. Come on. Stuttgart. I said Stuttgart.
Shauna Coxey is known for being able to unlock the sequences of boulders quickly. But she can't quite figure this one out yet. Seems like she needs to get her right hand on that blue volume in order to press and generate enough momentum to get that zone hold.
And as we've said, all of these attempts and all of these zones and tops really count, given only 3 athletes will go through to the 3rd boulder. If you want to keep up to date with the live results, you can do so at www.adidas-rockstars.com. And you can find results on there just by scrolling down and hitting that results tab.
So Shauna is back in the house.
Shauna Coxey knows that she needs to get this zone.
Gregor Vezonik.
Really needs this top, actually. Gregor Vezonik, not quite the height this time on that boulder.
Give your hands. Give your support to Gregor Vezonik, the bronze medalist on the 2018 World Champs in Innsbruck. The World Cup winner.
Shauna Coxey's chosen to go right hand up to that volume, but she seems a little bit low on energy currently.
It certainly looks like the better method, but she didn't look stronger that time.
And this is your last minute.
Whoa, getting close. Opting for the left hand down and the right hand up. 42 seconds to go. What do you think, Sasha? Enough time?
Shauna Coxey is wasting no time to try and establish on that blue hold, but she doesn't seem to have enough compression in between those holds to stick it.
Gregor Vezonik hops up again. Oh, and just misses. I mean, he's skipping a hold. Someone tell him.
I mean, if he can get his foot down on that volume in time.
I just feel like dropping down onto a volume and catching a hold that's in. You know, you've got a side pull and drop down. It's too much to ask. Shauna Coxey waves and says thanks. Unlikely that it's going to be enough to see her through, Sasha. We'll have to see.
Next up, we are going to have Mori, who qualified first after qualifiers into semifinals, our youngest competitor. And we are also going to have Yoshiyuki Agata from Japan as well.
Indeed.
I am really excited to see how Mori figures out women's number 2 being the shortest competitor, but also she is really dynamic.
She is super dynamic. There's only one way we'll find out how she did.
Here I go again.
Of course, we had a very dynamic boulder in the ladies' comp in the semi-finals, and she managed to stick that. So maybe she can do this.
Here is Mori.
3, 2. Okay, we wait for you. No problem. Come on, give a big round of applause to Mori. Very shy. 3, 2, 1, turn around.
So here they go. Yoshiyuki Ogata on men's number 2. Mori on women's number 2.
Das könnte der Pulsschlag von denen sein. Mein Pulsschlag ist einiges höher, sag ich euch. Here we go. Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Yoshiyuki Ogata just floating through the air there. It was like he got shot halfway. His body just stopped. Ai Mori with a big leg swing. Really good distance. Hit that right hand, but not quite enough momentum to kick the foot across. Let's see how they adjust on the next go.
The span of these footholds alone is pretty lengthy. Ai Mori tries to palm against that volume.
Here we go. Gamba Gamba Yoshiyuki. Gamba Gamba.
Yoshiyuki Ogata looking absolutely in control now. Into that double undercut on the big volume. Very tenuous position. Oh, he sticks in one hand, and there's the second. Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Absolutely incredible.
Happy with that one. 2 tops for Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Thank you so much, Yoshi, for that great show.
Yoshiyuki will definitely be moving on to the next round.
Absolutely will. Ai Mori now, all eyes on her.
Thank you, weiter. In die dritte Runde. Oder in die zweite Runde. So, jetzt geht's weiter mit Ai Mori.
Swings that left leg really far back. Oh.
Ai Mori is trying to palm against that first black volume in order to generate a little bit more height. Those footholds alone are pretty stretched out for her. And then she has to run across the wall and catch that first zone. This problem certainly isn't suiting her small height.
Not yet, but I'm not writing her off, Sasha. You never know.
Ai Mori is a little ninja. Let's see what she does.
Wow, the foot was in a much better position that time. Her hips a little bit far out from the wall. She can just tighten up those hips. That'll keep her center of gravity closer. She'll be able to engage that right shoulder. She's close.
If she can generate a little bit more leg power off that left leg in order to jump off of it.
Oh. Just over a minute remaining.
Something that could work for Ai Mori is to match that blue volume in order enough to establish her left leg and jump off of it. Looks like she was attempting something of that sort.
One thing I have to say though, for a 16-year-old, she's very composed. Even after 3 minutes of climbing, over 3 minutes and falling, she doesn't seem to be getting flustered. Oh, and she's getting closer.
Ai Mori is tenacious as well. She actually came third at the World Championships in Leeds, so endurance is not something that she lacks.
Yeah, she can go and go and go and go. 23 seconds remaining.
Ai Mori getting so close to establish herself and create some opposition against that left foot.
10 seconds. Oh, she really has that. She has the foot plant. She's going again.
Ai Mori with the final buzzer.
Hey, round of applause for Ai Mori. Absolutely sensational, just for effort. Very, very close. Didn't give up until the bitter end. 1 top so far, still puts her in second place.
Here is Yoshiyuki Ogata managing to press against that white cheetah volume.
And it's actually in the no friction corner as well, Sasha. That's one of the areas where there isn't any friction, so the whole the wall around that volume is completely frictionless.
Something unique about these walls is the fact that they are the first dual tax wall in the world.
In a climbing competition.
In a climbing competition. And that means there is no friction to smear against on some of these wall surfaces.
And it's not that easy to tell actually which is which, you know, you have to really go up and look at it and feel it. So the athletes will have done that, but you know, from a crowd perspective, it's not necessarily that obvious.
Now on the women's side, coming out is Futaba Ito from Japan. And on the men's side, we have Kai Harada.
Futaba Ito, 17 years old. Kai Harada, 20 years old. Relative youngsters in this competition.
20 years old. Futaba Ito, 19
Kai Harada
years old, just coming
lines
from
up.
the youth into the pro category.
And there is Futaba Ito.
Futaba Ito is a little bit taller than Aomori. She's generating her momentum.
Looked close straight away there.
Something that these athletes are going to have to experience as they try these boulder problems is building that muscle memory in the short 4-minute time period that they have to actually figure out and unlock the sequences. On an agility, really timing climb like this, it takes a couple tries to actually learn the movement and know exactly what you're asking your body to do.
Kai Harada lines up. Ooh, just scuffs that hold, fluffs the left hand, doesn't quite catch it. Futaba Ito now on her attempt. Oh yes, stinks the zone on women's number 2. Just needs to keep it together now, Sasha.
Futaba Ito mantling up.
One hand on the top, 2 hands on the top, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Futaba Ito.
Futaba Ito, ladies and gentlemen, sending the women's world record number 2.
That top is going to be really important as we go into our elimination round before the next boulder problem.
It absolutely is. That's going to make a big difference. 1 top now, 2 zones. Oof. Kai Harada still just trying to make sense of that move. Looks like his hips aren't quite far enough across. The left leg isn't sticking that flat hold. All eyes on Kai.
Die Möglichkeit zum Topping. Kai Harada. Nächster Versuch.
Ja, großartig, alle unsere Gyms dort zu sehen. Der Ticket to Rockstars Events, München, Liverpool, Plymouth, London ist da, Stuttgart, die Rockerei. Vielen, vielen Dank nochmal, Jungs, für die großartige Unterstützung im Rahmen der Ticket to Rockstars, Adidas Rockstars World Series in diesem Jahr. Und jetzt geht's rein. Come on, everybody. Erzielt Kai Harada.
Kai Harada now, world champion in bouldering in Innsbruck 2016.
Kai Harada is taking a moment to consider when he's going to get back on the wall. In order to maximize, he's got a little bit less than 90 seconds.
Here he goes. Ooh, doesn't quite stick it again. Skips that middle hold.
Gibt uns momentan die Möglichkeit, nochmal ins Resultat zu schauen. Futaba Ito führt mit
45 seconds.
Den ersten hat sie nicht geschafft. Auf 2.
Saving himself for one last go, and he really needs to give it everything this time. Come on, Kai.
Also es wird richtig spannend in dieser Runde.
Oh, he slows it down. Oh my gosh. 30 seconds remaining. As calm as you like. Presses into the underside of that cheetah volume. Walks up, and he sticks it. 20 seconds to go. Kai Harada looks at the crowd and says, "Are you not entertained?" Absolutely incredible. Brilliant work from former world champion. 2018 was his year. 2019 could be the year at Rockstars. Excellent work.
And this is his first top on the competition so far. 4 attempts to reach the zone. 8 right now.
There was Futaba Ito
Nice metal.
on that very tricky little mantle at the end there, but made it look super easy.
Great job.
Topped, and was very, very happy about it. And this, of course, was Kai breaking the boulder.
So much to Anton and
Just killed that swing. Such strong core.
You can also see that these holds are dual textured, so that shiny portion of the orange holds are No texture whatsoever.
What a performance.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There's the results, Sasha. Miho Nanaka in 6th place, last year's winner. Lushka Rakovic in 5th place, Shona Coxey in 4th place, Ai Mori in 3rd place, Janja Gambra in 2nd, and Futaba Ito in 1st. Gregor Vesenak in 6th place for Slovenia, Florian Klingler in 5th, 1st place qualifier, Chun Jong-won last year's 2nd in 4th, Kokoro Fuji in 3rd, Kai Harada in 2nd, and Yoshiyuki Ogata in 1st. Now, don't worry. Those results still yet to change because, of course, we do have Miho Nanaka and Janja Gambra still to climb, and we do have Chun Jong-won and Florian Klingler still to climb, so everything can change.
And now coming out is Miho Nanaka and Jongwon Chon. Miho is in need of a good result on this boulder in order to make it through the elimination round.
Ich bin gespannt. Miho Nanaka. Gespannt, wie wird zu bogen. Das ist ihr Ding, meiner Meinung nach.
If she flashes, she could get him.
Miho led with her top a little bit quicker than she led with her feet. Jongwon Chon, a lot of speed.
In fact, a top would see her in, I believe, for Miho Nanaka, if my maths is correct.
Miho
Hops across.
Nanaka
2018.
Spending the first few tries to try and figure out what exactly they need to do.
Look how steep that wall is.
Chun Jong-won almost sticking that, but not quite high enough with the leg.
Das ist der vorletzte Heat hier an Runde Nummer 2. Dann haben wir den letzten und danach gehen 3 ins Finale.
Interesting. Less jump, more run. She was really
So
running.
close.
Yeah.
That was a smart maneuver of Miho to really establish herself on the wall and be able to coordinate her momentum.
Jawohl. Come on, Jungs. Liebt es, die Haare zu färben. Ist so ein richtiges Go-Equate natürlich. Jawohl, Miho. Gamba, Gamba.
Miho lines up again and bets a little closer, that left hand in the right direction now. Just needs to find a little bit more strength in the core to be forward, to keep that weight forward.
As the competitors go against a dynamic move like that, it's interesting to see how many swings they decide to take before actually committing to the move, because every single swing actually takes an amount of energy, and Miho is deciding to not actually swing, to just generate from her first push and then run towards that zone.
Yeah, super interesting to watch. One of the best things about climbing, in my opinion, is seeing the different beta, the different methodology. Oh, so close.
It's a move that she needs. Jongwon Chon has established that zone hold and kicked his foot out left.
Managing to find that stop beater on the flat hold. Now into that undercut on the volume. Big press into those underside, the grippy underside of the cheetah volume, and just needs to stand up and catch.
Standing up off that really negligible smear of volume isn't exactly easy.
Oh, and he wasn't quite confident enough.
1 minute and 10 seconds.
Miho still getting close, but not quite close enough.
And coming to Stuttgart in his first Adidas Rockstars here, finishing 23rd. The year after winning the World Cup over title twice.
50 seconds
Twice the runner
on the clock.
And here she comes once again.
Oh,
Miho.
dangerous territory there for Miho Nanaka. Chon up on that boulder, underneath the cheetah hold. Big press now into those undercuts, and needs to get those feet in a better position this time. Oh no! Heartbreaking stuff for Chun Jong-won.
Das geht noch. Weiß, muss liefern.
I want to get your hands. Come on, everybody, put your hands up.
Jeongwon Chon now has that muscle memory down to dial it to the zone hold. See if he can stand on the top of this volume and press it out.
He's really taking this one to the wire with 5 seconds remaining. Can he do it? Jeongwon sticks it on the buzzer. What a savage. Jeongwon proves why he was in the superfinal last year, and with that top puts himself into a very, very strong position. Absolutely amazing stuff from Jeongwon. 7 tries.
Talk
Brilliant
about
work.
Buzzer finish.
And as you saw in the results there, Miho Nanaka did hit the zone, and that was the goal. Just off screen. She just wasn't quick enough to the top. What a shame at the buzzer. Real heartbreaker, but brilliant effort to get up there. And this was the buzzer beater from Chon. 2 hands, stops the swing. Oh, and a slam dunk. So good to finish there. You can see how much it means to him.
Just in time, Jeongwon Chon secures that top.
We are ready right
Whew,
now.
I need a minute after that one, Sasha. We have our final athletes out now.
Well, we have Janja Gambre from Slovenia and Florian Klingler coming out last on this second boulder problem.
We absolutely do.
Right now, free.
Janja flashed that first boulder problem. Janja just misses the usable part of that blue first volume.
So, here she goes. Ooh. So Florian taps that start hold. Using that left leg to generate a little bit of momentum.
Sichert sich weiter die Chance auf den Superwasser mit dem letzten Doppel und frisch auf Platz 7 Versuche. Und der Titelverteidiger,
With each try, Janja gets a little bit closer to sticking that zone hold. Janja knows what to do. I think she has the body positioning in her mind. And she secures that zone.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from Janja Gambre, and I have to say I'm not surprised that she got it. Such a phenomenal climber. It's just a matter of time with her. Stands up with 2 feet onto that volume in that frog position. Up with the left hand onto the top, and there's the right, matches the finish. Janja Gambre secures the top and, of course, secures her place for the 3rd boulder. I'm probably expecting to get across there again, and it's just a case of getting up and hitting that last hold. And as we saw with Jeongwon, it's possible.
The buzzer finish is possible. Florian Klingler is looking at his fingertips. They're definitely raw from the last rounds of attempts.
Sammelt nochmal Kräfte. Und wenn er in der Wall ist, sind wir wieder bei dem Flo. Die gesamte Porsche Arena. Nehmt schon mal Rhythmus auf. So, der steht.
Florian Klingler uses the right side of that black volume to establish some sort of contact strength.
Back into those undercuts on the cheetah volume. Stands up with the left foot, stands up a little with the right. Eyes it up and sticks it. There he goes.
That's really important. Top leading on from the first set of 2 boulder problems.
It is indeed, and unless I'm mistaken, that top bumps Kai Harada out of the next boulder, and it will be Chon, Florian Klingler, and Yoshiyuki Ogata that go through. There's Sasha DeJulian. I looked at you instead of the telly. There's Janja Garnbret, looking great.
Don't mistake me with Janja. Janja
Could you do that one, Sasha?
Way too great of a competitor for you to compare me to her.
Oh, mate. I need more coffee. Janja Garnbret, fine style, frogs those volumes, establishes on that slopey top, gets up there, finishes strong.
Janja is just unstoppable.
So after that full rotation, we're going to see full replays of all of the climbers again, Sasha. And when that comes on, we're going to go quiet. Who was your favorite top on that boulder, man and woman?
My favorite top on the men's side was definitely Jungwon Chon at that buzzer finish. And my favorite performance of the women was Janja Garnbret.
Well, look at that. Those are the top 3 going through. Ai Mori, Futaba Ito, and Janja Garnbret, 2 Japanese and 1 Slovenian. All the other athletes are out of the competition. In the men's competition, the top 3 going through: Chon Jong-won, Florian Klingler, and Yoshiyuki Ogata, Kai Harada, Kokoro Fuji, and Gregor Vezenik missing out on the 3rd boulder. And of course, only the top 2 climbers from the 3rd boulder will go through to the super boulder. Very exciting. 3 Japanese through, and here are those replays. We're going to let you guys watch these. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So we're back now, and you get a sneak peek into that transition zone. You see there, Futaba Ito, Sasha DeJulian. How are we feeling about that?
These competitors are looking pretty psyched, pretty exhausted as well.
They are indeed. You can see Janja, or you could see Janja, just chatting with Futaba.
I don't know if Janja's too exhausted.
Just warming up. See some of the crowd there. The crowd have been amazing tonight. Such a good atmosphere. Something like 3,500 people in the building.
We now have a new final women's start list, starting with Ai Mori, followed by Futaba Ito, and then third Janja Garnbret.
Indeed, Janja, first place, comes out last.
So, Stuttgart is ready!
And there you can see women's boulder 3.
For the women's
Those big yellow cheetah volumes with the orange holds piggybacked on. Very aesthetic, great looking boulder. You see the dual texture hold there, one of those spheres. 3 volumes from cheetah there stacked on each other with a hold on top.
Where the route setter decides to place that zone hold means there's typically a really challenging move getting to it and a really challenging move getting to that top.
Here is 16-year-old Mori.
Mori is refreshing this boulder problem, sequencing it. She had 2 minutes to look at it prior to finals starting. Now she's making sure she knows where all of the hidden holds are. Lots of hidden little screw-ons on these massive yellow volumes.
Tags that left foot in. Bumps up with the left hand.
Starfish against these yellow volumes. So good at the toe hooks.
Really good core tension. Oh, and just pops off there, that right toe cutting loose.
It'll be interesting to see if she goes right hand and she decides to throw her right foot up on that zone and then turn around. First we have the woman out.
Die Adidas Rockstars Party Richtung Finale. Zweiter Versuch, second attempt.
In with that left toe hook again. Oh, and just misses that left hand.
Mori really sucks her hips up into the wall to generate as much power from the holds as she can. When Mori climbs, it's kind of like she's like a suction cup to the wall.
Yeah, she has an incredible way of fighting gravity on these moves. Catches that pinch. In with the right toe hook. Sticks it this time, the right toe stays true. Look at that, matches in.
Oh.
Back 3 and a thumb. Oh my God, back middle 2. Oh, Mori, you utter savage.
Mori created a thumb pinch off that
Middle 2 and the
combination.
thumb, matched off the right hand. Flipping brilliant.
Such strong finger power.
It's 500 miles. Can I see your hands? Come on now, put your hands up.
I believe 1 minute and 15 seconds.
This time it's that left pinch in the right toe. Strong in the toe, manages to keep that core tension and goes in with that match again, but doesn't stick it. Less than a minute remaining. If her last attempts are anything to go by, she's going to keep trying.
You can see that Mori is doing a really creative sequence on what may be a Ricci sequence otherwise, perhaps.
So one thing I know for sure is that if she sticks these moves, Sasha, the crowd will go absolutely wild.
First left toe hook, then she switches it over to the right toe hook.
Let me entertain you.
Right on the edge of that hold there with the right hand. Matches in with the left into that weird pinch that she's created. Pretty sure that's not what the setter's intended. Oh, and she almost sticks that sphere, but needs a little bit more height. She's having another go. Oh, just not enough time for Mori.
Fantastic performance. Thank you so much, Ali. We thoroughly enjoyed your performance today. 15 years old. Can you imagine traveling the world as a sports athlete without a family? And your family is
So next down
the farming community of Japan.
will be Futaba Ito.
Mori.
Big talents.
We go through all the women.
Yeah.
Before we go to the men.
Frage, die sich da stellt, erinnert euch mal zurück, was wir selber mit 15 gemacht haben, oder sie ist der Vorschein.
So, damit sind wir stärker für die zweite Anwohner Nummer 3, put your hands together for the 19 years old, Futaba Ito.
Next up, we have another Japanese climber, Futaba Ito.
We do indeed. Here she comes, 17 years old. Quite a bit taller than Ayimori.
3, 2, 1, turn the line, Futaba. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Stuttgart 2019. Getting ready for Boulder.
So 4 minutes have begun.
For a 19-year-old from Japan. The bronze medalist in the
Futaba spends less time looking at the sequences and remembering where the orange holds are, that she establishes quite quickly.
Interesting that she goes over with that right hand, takes the left hand as a Gaston, and I think that's a height thing, Sasha. And having that left hand as a crimp allows her to really generate off that shoulder and slap to the top of the spear. And now you can see her next hold is that very small crimp up and right. She has the zone. Underneath that volume on the small right hand crimp, and here she goes again. Nice toe hook with the left to reach over with the left hand. Big pop, oh, and doesn't quite hit it. Whoa, what a move.
You could see her hands were just under where that orange screw-on was. She needed to generate a little bit more power as she swung her hips over to the right.
I like yellow as a color.
Hat er sich ins Jahr gewünscht.
Adidas Rockstars ist ja immer so in einem Laboratorium. Die wird experimentiert, das sind Volumes, die man noch nirgendwo gesehen hat. Zum Beispiel bei der Semifinale, die Holzvolumenkontrolle. Jawohl. Genauso Romano Rasse. Und nochmal riesen Dankeschön an unseren Partner Baby Clubbing, gemeinsam mit Ajax, mit Core, Morphle, Cheetah and Flattones. Here we go. Come on, let's hear it.
Futaba is taking her time because she knows that she can get to the top of this boulder problem. She's got just under 2 minutes left. She was...
So, kommt jetzt genug ausgeruht. Come on, everybody. You got your rest. Right now it's time to push it to the limit. Futaba Ito.
Geht absolut davon aus, dass es bis da oben wieder klappt.
Futaba Ito
Dass sie das in den Händen und den Füßen hat.
getting between these two volumes. Charging a really challenging left-hand Gaston in order to capture this sloper that's actually a dual-tech sloper. So that means that shiny portion you see is not textured at all. Where her fingertips are sliding, you can see them sliding against the lack of friction.
Places that left toe hook, reaches over with the left hand, and now she needs to cut loose and catch the crimp. Does it in control this time? Reels that swing back in. Places the left foot on the crimp. One hand's on the top, two hands on the top, and there it is! Tops out on boulder number 3. And lays down the gauntlet for the rest of the ladies. Futaba Ito, absolutely phenomenal climbing.
Futaba Ito will be in the superfinal.
Dieser Breaker wie immer unfucking fassbar. Unglaublich. Kommt mal Riesenapplaus für Futaba Ito.
There was Futaba Ito up onto that pinch. That little bit of extra height just meant that she could take this hold as a full Gaston and the next hold as a crimp and also a full Gaston. Crossed hands to then get over the shoulder. And you see her trying so hard, engaging the back.
But watch this left hand here. As she flips it over, you can see the shiny portion of that sloper.
So gross. Brilliant setting, though, I have to say, Sasha. The route setters have done such a phenomenal job.
Stabilisierend. Und dann der Dino rüber. Pendelbewegung sofort abstoppen.
In fact, since I've mentioned them, I'm going to give them a proper shout out. They deserve it mid-broadcast. Head setter Laurent Laporte, supported by Matteo Laporte's son, supported by Adam Pustelnik, Tomar Alexei, Manuel Hassler, Sakuru Hori, Felix Buchmann, and then 2 female setters as well. So good to see them in. Paddy Lehman and Melissa Leneve bringing some really amazing blocks all the way through to this final round. They've all done such an amazing job. We've still got a lot more climbs to go. Sasha,
And
you gonna
here
flash
we
it?
are, Liam. We've got Yanya coming out.
We do indeed, Sasha. How many goes?
Yanya, will she flash this problem?
I'm going to say yeah. Why not?
I'm not going to jinx it.
Okay.
4 minutes, we know what Yanya is capable of. So much more than this boulder problem.
Strong in the left foot. Really nice into that left pinch. So good onto that crimp in the cross through as well.
Yanya climbs with such control.
Drops that left knee in. Cheeky little knee bar there. Full respect for Yanya Garnbrett. Style points. I'd give her an extra style point if she took her hands off to shake. Onto that small crimp with the left hand. Cuts the foot loose and catches that right hand.
Yanya Garnbrett doesn't even hesitate to stick that one-arm hang. And another flash for Yanya.
Yanya Garnbrett, ladies and gentlemen. Hate to say I told you so, Sasha. Absolutely amazing.
I was not denying Yanya's ability.
You absolutely weren't. Amazing work there. Yanya Garnbrett of Slovenia flashes boulder number 3. Let's have another look at it, why not? I mean, it was so quick. Nice to get a good look. Such control, Sasha. She never looks stressed.
She also goes about these boulder problems with such determination and control that she knows exactly what she's getting into and what to do. She is just so good at solving the sequences. And then so strong to be able to do them.
I'm just so psyched that she put a knee bar in.
The timing of her release of that toe hook was really important in her being able to catch that long move up to that right screw in, orange hold on that yellow volume and mantle up to the top.
Big press. And a very nice top. So those are the results as they stand. Taba Ito and Yanya Garnbrett go through to the superfinal in the ladies. Ai Mori knocked out, takes 3rd place and a bronze start here at Adidas Rockstars 2019. We're now going to take a look at the slow-mo highlights of that round. We'll give you guys a minute to watch.
Coming up on the final for the men, we have Jungwon Chang, Florian Klingler coming out first.
Yeah, 3 climbers in the men's. Yoshiyuki Ogata, Florian Klingler, and Chun Jong-won.
He is der Zuschauerliebling von Stuttgart. From Korea.
Only 2 climbers will advance to the next round. Chun really needs a top here if he wants to secure a place in that super final. Yoshiyuki Ogata, if he tops, is guaranteed a place.
Turn around, come on, young one.
And let's get a look at this boulder.
Oh, anybody from the Chelsea that is in the house?
Well, Liam, it looks like this is our crack climb boulder that we scoped earlier before. It'll be curious to see how the boulders figure out this sequence.
Tell you what, Sasha, I love crack climbing.
Oh, here's Jungwon Chang with an initial hand jam.
Needs to tuck that thumb in. You see, he just like hopes his knuckles will stay. He really needs to tuck the thumb.
Yeah, Kevin Jorgensen was here earlier giving a presentation. I think he would find this hand jam a little bit easier.
I want to see Kevin on it. 2 jams now. Oh, no, got his hand on the outside and he can reach across and compress here. Nice. Okay, Chun's making his way through.
Okay. Now
He needs to do a second jam. There it is.
Another jam. I think he could get a higher jam and a really secure jam a little bit higher.
He probably could, but he's fighting low on the crack. Come on, Chun. Oh, that's a lot of energy holding his hands.
He's not used to crack climbing. I reckon, what, that's size 1 gear? Maybe the audience can weigh in.
No gear required. It's so good it can be solo.
Ihr dürft euch das mit nach Hause nehmen und in der Wohnung ausbreiten, wenn ihr wollt. Here we go, come on, Stuttgart. Everyone needs your hands. Zweimal den Weltcup gewonnen.
Maybe Jungwon Chang could have done a tape glove for his hands for this boulder problem.
Can you imagine? That would be serious prep.
Gegen Sean McCall, der einfach Adidas Rockstars Champion. Come on. Let's go.
This start hold volume is actually something that we've seen a lot in this competition. I think it's called the egg.
You can call it that if that's what you want it to be called, Sasha.
Makes sense to me. You know, Jungwon Chang is trying this hand jam again.
Wenn es auch nur 65 Kilo sind, die das liegt, 67.
He's moving out of it in order to create a layback and get this zone hold.
Such a heartbreaker for Chun because, you know, 3 attempts at that super final and 3 silvers.
I do
really
love
wants the 4th.
how we are getting this whole Rolodex of different boulder problems, testing each of these climbers' different skills.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's truly what boulder competition should be about, is testing a whole portfolio. That's one of the pros of the combined format, in my opinion, is that it really does test everything. There's a lot of cons as well, but that is one of the pros, is that we get to see what these climbers are truly made of. Less than a minute remaining now for Chun Jong-won.
Jungwon Chang. He knows the jam to do this time.
Oh, it's heartbreaking to watch. Come on, buddy. Compression. Strong there.
He secured that zone. Now let's see if he can move up in the crack. He knows how to use his foot in a crack.
Super flexible hips.
He needs to transition his body over to the left.
Oh, come on, Chun. 15 seconds.
Honestly, that just looks really painful. I don't know if many of you guys do the cracks and climbing gyms, but
It's never going to work. Chun Jong-won currently sits in 2nd place. So it all comes down to Florian Klingler. If Flo can do this, then he's through.
Die Hand tut weh. Also richtig schweres Problem, das sehen wir es mal. Also, der Crack. Frisk klettern, wenn ihr draußen an der
But Flo has to top. Chon has, if Flo gets the zone, they would have the same amount of zones, but Chon would have got the zone quicker.
Yeah.
So Flo really needs to top this if he wants to go through. You see the blood on the knuckles there. Just wasn't securing those jams. I mean, to go for that move with that right hand down, you know, if you gave him a crimp, he would never do that.
Yeah.
It is so interesting watching climbers out of their comfort zone. Just unable to make that one work.
Also, a little bit sketchy to watch his hand in that position as he dynamically moved off of it. I don't want to see a broken hand.
I think he's too bad at jamming for it to get stuck. Well, here comes Flo Klingler from Austria.
Flo Klingler is a really powerful, strong climber.
21 years old.
Was ist das für ein Blick? Entschlossenheit
He's
oder
21 years old.
sowas wie Demut, Respekt, Dankbarkeit, irgend so eine Mischung aus allem im Finale. Er ist unter den Top 3 jetzt am dritten Board.
Er hat gesagt, heute Morgen oder Nachmittag in der Transition Zone. Genau das ist
Here's playing Klingler. Actually getting a jam first try.
Alles ausprobieren.
Tucks that left hand in. Good direction off that, not opting for the compression, but then goes back with that left hand.
You can see he's really powering through his shoulders. Not very comfortable in that position.
Oof. And the slight lack of reach on Chon is causing him some problems there.
Oder wenn du das heute Abend schaffst, ins Superfinale zu kommen, dann bist du der König von Österreich.
I can't decide whether this is entertaining or painful to watch. You know, it's like car crash TV.
I think it looks pretty painful, to be honest. The thing is, these holds are so frictiony.
Just both elbows up, pulling the crack apart. The sides of his back, he might actually pull it off the wall. But it's not what you do, Flo. You need a jam. There we go. Oh, and he sticks it with the left hand. Good work.
He definitely wants to keep those elbows in as he's jamming.
Good compression. Now, he's gone up with the right hand, down with the left. He needs to switch that hand. Oh, and he doesn't quite have that there.
I hope we have some trad climbers watching this
There's definitely trad climbers
event right
watching.
now. And I'll throw it out there again. What I think the piece that I would place if this were a trad climb would be number 1. You guys can weigh in on what sort of piece you think that it would require on your end. Clearly it's a boulder problem, so not so necessary.
Es geht um den Einzug im Superfinale. Guter Benito und Jannik haben das bei den Damen schon geschafft.
Und es ist dass die Versuche, die Anzahl der Versuche und diese Zone zu kommen, das ist
Clearing Klingler looking somewhat perplexed. Turns around and asks the crowd for some support, and as always, Stuttgart is more than happy to give it.
Here he goes. Let's see if he can get past this zone hold. Florian Klingler, so far, I think, achieved that zone hold sooner than John Wang Chong, but
Hier sitzt gleich keiner mehr, wenn der da den nächsten Step überhilft.
oh, wow, he just skips the rest of that boulder problem.
Well, Sasha, they told us that couldn't be done anymore. They told us that the new structure, it was impossible to cheat it. Florian Klingler, in fine style, proved them wrong.
Florian Klingler gets through that gnarly gym crack and manages to top out the third boulder problem.
And is very deserving of a place in the superfinal. And he's earned it. Watch it again.
It just looks so painful.
Monkeys up the middle. Thought outside the box.
Really smart climbing to just see that compression that he can create between his left foot and his right foot and just generate enough momentum to throw to the top.
It was very Jan Hoyer that. It reminded me of when Jan Hoyer was in the superfinal those years ago. Managed to skip all of the moves. Get up there on the top. Cheeky monkey. We'll have to wait and see what the route setters think about that. In the meantime, last athlete out in the men's is Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Yoshiyuki Ogata already has 2 tops.
He does. Yoshiyuki's already in. Florian Klingler's in. Sadly, no superfinal for Chun Jong-won this year.
3, 2, 1, turn around.
Das ist für ihn nur ein Zitronenbaum und dieser Leites und so.
So Yoshiyuki Ogata, who has tape gloves on.
Yoshiyuki Ogata had enough time in the athlete lounge to prepare.
I love that. Wonder where he learned that from.
Maybe Yuji.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yuji Hirayama, of course. Prolific Japanese climber, both indoors and outdoors, and there he is into the jams.
Yoshiyuki Ogata, top number 1, top order number 2. Is this the last order for him? Come on, everybody.
See if Yoshi figures out his ability to skip the rest of the boulder problem. It doesn't really seem like it yet, considering he's brought both his hands over and he's looking at that next hold.
Yoshiyuki Ogata committed now on that left side. Really nice. Brings that left.
Oh, it just looks so
sliding down
clean.
the crack there.
Das wird ein gutes Foto.
Definitiv der Nachwuchs.
Gamba, Gamba, come on Stuttgart. Gamba, Gamba für Yoshiyuki.
When you're competing, you have a relative idea of how your other competitors have done, but it's really difficult to gauge an actual knowledge of what you need to complete on the boulder and be certain that you're moving on to the next round. So while we as an audience may know that he may not need to actually complete this boulder problem to be in the super final, he may not know that.
Yoshiyuki this time looks like he might have found the method, and he has. So smart. 2 people have done it.
2 people have unlocked the sneak up this boulder problem around the designated route setters.
3 tops for Yoshiyuki Ogata. Concrete place in that super final. And the only climber to top all 3 boulders so far puts himself in a very strong position for that super final win.
Yoshiyuki Ogata kommt alles auf der Größe nach.
Der Herr Grün.
Ist der Superstar des heutigen Abends.
So Sasha, super finals, Janja Gambret, Futaba Ito, Yoshiyuki Ogata, Florian Klingler. I know who I think is going to win. Yoshiyuki crimping the very top of that cheetah volume as well. Filth.
The clear leaders going into the super final are Yoshiaki and Janja. Yoshiyuki
They
Ogata.
certainly are.
Direkt in die Finger.
So, hier haben wir das Ergebnis. Das sind die beiden
die ins Superfinale kommen. Adidas
So there you go.
Rockstars.
6th place, Gregor Vezonik. 5th place, Kokoro Fuji. 4th place, Kai Harada. 3rd place, Chon Jong-won. 2nd place, Florian Klingler. And 1st place, Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Der Superbowler, der
Klingler and Ogata through to the superfinal. Let's take a look at those highlights. We'll give you a minute to watch them in silence.
The athletes back in the athlete lounge, final 4. We have 2 from Japan, and we also have Austria and Slovenia.
First up, we have the women's super boulder. You can see it there on the wall.
Jetzt ist da, der Super Bowl.
This Liam is a pretty exciting round. It is a race to the buzzer on identical boulder problems on the left and the right.
Identical in style, but not in color. Identical in holds. You can see from both angles. The nice thing about this new Super Boulder is that it's not square onto the cameras, so you get to see 2 different angles depending on who's climbing. Same for the audience in the studio as well, or in the arena, I should say. They can see both climbers doing different things, even though the moves are identical. It's a nice way to change things up, and you can see the holds there, some very shiny dual techs, big stacked cheetah volumes on top of the wall that they have to mount before they can get up to the buzzer. And all they have to do is hit it. They don't have to stand or anything like that. They can dive if they need to, as Sean McCall did all those years ago. So those are the women's super boulders.
It's also interesting to note, though, that the competitors can't see each other climbing while they're on the wall. Otherwise, maybe you could get a little bit of beta from each other.
What they can do is stand back when they're resting, but of course, if you stand back and watch the other climber and they stick the move, then you're 30 seconds behind them already. So not the smartest method, but in the past when there's been, like when Janja and Jesse had the battle, 2015 I think it was, they were watching each other after a while because they were just tired. So hopefully that won't happen today.
Yeah, hopefully you don't need to stand back and watch your competitor beat you, but could be insight, could be strategic.
Very nice looking boulders, and just to remind you that top panel, the orange panel, is frictionless. Also the black below it, that whole bar there, all the way around the super boulder, has no friction.
Stuttgart, are you ready for the superfinal women?
You can hear the event director, Mike Harmel, getting everybody fired up now.
The time has come, and Stuttgart is ready.
Sounds like Stuttgart's ready.
Okay.
You can tell we have a massive crowd in the arena. Porsche Arena is just about packed.
Packed to capacity, in fact, no spare seats.
This is quite possibly the most exciting moment of the competition.
Definitely agree with you there, Sasha. The most exciting moment. Janja Garnbret on the right-hand side of your screen. Futaba Ito on the left. Japan versus Slovenia.
Here we go.
Twice world champion in boulder and lead this year. Rather, boulder and combined, I should say. Jumps across to the box. Look at that, 2 different methods. Futaba Ito needs to get straight back on there. Janja Garnbret hops up with that right hand. changes her mind, goes left hand.
Dual texture volume.
Yanya seems to be taking a little bit of her time. However, of course, Futaba is still behind her in progress of this boulder problem.
That hold must be really bad for Yanya not to commit to it. For Tabarito, however, 2 hands on it and a hand on the upper hold. Yanya Gambra can't see what's going on. For Tabarito, hops over the left hand, hops over the right hand, and there she goes, ladies and gentlemen. Adidas Rockstars champion 2019 from Japan, the one and only 17-year-old Futaba Ito.
Futaba Ito did what was thought was impossible.
Beat Yanya.
Taking the crown from Yanya, the undefeated Bouldering World Cup champion.
Absolutely sensational finish. Big hugs from Yanya. Futaba surprised. Absolutely amazing. She's had a great qualifiers, a great semi-final, so what a finish here. We're going to go straight to the mats and hear from Futaba herself.
A dream came true. Here's your Adidas Rockstar 2019 from Japan, 19 years old, Futaba Ito! Futaba, how is that feeling with a spectator crowd like this to be the Adidas Rockstar this year?
It's so fun to this competition, and I can't believe it.
Enjoy it. Did you expect it to coming to Stuttgart that you're going to be winning Adidas Rockstar this year because you're a lead specialist as well? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Futaba Ito. Yanya. Amazing, winning all 6 World Cup events this year. A triple on the World Championship. A hard season coming to an end. What do you think about the victory today, about Futaba?
I'm so happy for her. She is so strong, so she deserves it.
How was the Super Bowl day? For the very first time we had a dual texture bowl. So what do you think about the new Super Bowl day?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
And the crowd?
Yeah.
Your champions, Futaba Ito and Yanya Gambra, ladies and gentlemen. And here, your super slow-mos tonight on the big screen.
So that was, of course, the win for Futaba Ito, and we can see exactly how she got up there now. Fell first time,
Das war der zweite Versuch von
but got up there very quickly second time.
You know, Futaba went about the boulder problem, bringing her right foot up onto that volume, something that Yanya did not see. She was kind of stuck. And there you can see Futaba's excitement and just disbelief that she beat Yanya up that wall.
Complete delight, ecstatic, and the big hug at the bottom. I got goosebumps. What a finish. Amazing competition there for Futaba Ito.
Für das Superfinale der Herren.
Futaba Ito
Wir bringen euch noch mal ein bisschen
actually qualified 7th at the World Championships in bouldering and combined.
She did indeed, and those are the final results in the ladies' competition. Luska Rakovic, Shauna Coxey, Miho Nanaka, 6th, 5th, 4th respectively, and then the top 3 was Ai Mori, who got bumped out. Yanya Gambra and Futaba Ito finishing in the top 2. Absolutely amazing win for Futaba Ito.
Shall be within you.
You can hear the music there in the background. DJ Pro DZ all the way from Denver, Colorado. And here's the path that Futaba Ito took to the finals. This was her in qualifiers. Or rather, this was semi-finals, sorry, Sasha.
Yeah, this was problem number 1 in women's semi-finals.
One of few women to top that one.
So precise when she sees the hole that she needs to go to. She's like a cat. I say that because I have 2 cats, but she sees the hold and she pounces to it with such precision. Look at her flipping that volume, mantling up to this terrible pinch, which then she follows to match.
Yeah, she climbed so well
And
in
then
that
watch
semi-finals.
this thumb catch.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
Just incredible.
Really exceptional movement, understanding of center of gravity, everything that you would expect from a super finalist winner.
And here she is on such an incredible performance on that finals round, catching the zone, and then followed up by her easily walking her way up to the finish. Mantling up onto what the top of the wall is actually zero friction whatsoever. Doesn't seem to hold Futaba back.
This was, of course, her third boulder in the finals.
This boulder problem took Futaba 2 tries. She just slipped off the second to last hold on her first try and then managed to muster the energy to make it back and complete it with grace.
Really nice toe hook. Even took time to chalk as well.
And that was the top finish that got Futaba into the super final round. You can see on the right side, Yanya is still trying to figure out how to get to that top, and then Futaba geniusly presses against her left foot on that volume to be able to reach up. Really geometric features.
Brilliant set there in the super final, the perfect super final boulder, just hard enough to split them, but not too hard that they can't do it.
And Futaba's smile as she realizes that she is the 2019 Adidas Rockstars champion.
So sehen die Gewinnerinnen aus. Das ist das Schöne, wie es Jan ja gesagt hat, schaut euch das an. Das ist Camaraderie, that is the public community. Celebrating together as we have last year. Jan van Schong and Johnny Gruner. This year celebrating together. Jan Lambert and Futaba Ito.
So, die Jungs unterhalten sich auch hier hinten in der Transition Zone. Toshiyuki Ogata und Fukuna.
Und was wird das für eine Afterparty heute?
Da machen wir es schon wieder.
Geht ebenfalls alles heute. Kann man erzählen von Prodisi?
Verlassen wir uns, oder? Letzter Check.
Ein guter Applaus für unsere Root-Center, die den Super Bowl ebenfalls gesetzt haben. Ihr vorletzter Job.
Heute Nacht war das Rockstars.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Prodisi. Thank you very much, Prodisi.
I just don't want to talk.
And it's right now into the men's super final. Okay, here we
So,
go, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready?
We're now coming round to the men's superfinal. Battle to be fought by Yoshiyuki Ogata and Florian Klingler. Both of them found that very special method. Men's number 3.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time to be in the finals of Adidas Rockstars in history. From Austria, Florian Klingler. From Japan, Yoshiyuki Ogata!
Yoshiyuki Ogata and Florian Klingler making their first debuts in the Adidas Rockstars finals. The route setters have slightly tweaked the boulders.
3, 2,
and here they go.
Turn around as superfinal men.
Nice little fist bump. And here they go. Yoshiyuki pulls on first. Oh, and just misses that first catch with the foot. Flo hits it, but doesn't stick it.
Again, we have a men's problem that requires really precision against that foothold. Yoshiyuki pulling ahead.
Yoshiuki's in the lead now, but Florian Klingler's neck and neck. Who's going to hit that sloper first? Oh, Flo Klingler misses. Oh no, and Yoshiyuki's up. Remember, the athletes cannot see each other.
Both athletes are back at the ground. Florian Klingler this time pulling back on
Manages
first.
to stick it. Flo Klingler goes again with that left hand by the looks of it. Yoshiyuki Ogata matched on, Flo misses. Oh! What's Yoshiyuki trying to grab?
Yoshiyuki seems to be trying to grab a right little crimp that he's actually brushing right now.
Absolutely savage.
Florian Klingler, similar to the previous boulder, is trying to just skip the next move.
Sticks it again. Yoshiyuki still on the mats. You can see that double screw on. Oh, it flows off. Yoshiyuki's back on. 2 hands. Goes direct and misses it. Oh no!
Yoshiyuki is trying to see what's up on top of this super boulder. It's 3 sloping volumes melded together. Both men have tried both sequences. I'm curious to see which sequence they go with next. Both on the ground and both hyping the crowd.
Yoshiyuki Ogata back up again. Flo Klingler trying both beaters. Opts to get the crowd support as well.
Yoshiyuki is looking at that little screw on, but doesn't seem to hold it.
Sasha, that's so close.
Well, what's going to happen, Liam, if we don't see a man on top?
I mean, it happened a couple of years ago. It was Jesse and Yanyo neck and neck, and it just came down to whoever did it first. If the time runs out, there's no stress. It's just keep going.
Just keep going.
I think so. That's what we did a couple of years ago.
It's just going to turn into a long red point session.
We could be here all night.
Well, it's not 11 yet. Flo Klingler sticks the move. Yoshiyuki Ogata sticks the move. Right hand on for Flo and match. Both match now. Oh, and Flo doesn't hit it. Oh, and Yoshiyuki had his tips on. 40 seconds left.
This is exciting.
This is exciting.
I'm nervous, I have to say.
I'd really like to see someone hit the buzzer before these final 30 seconds.
They're looking at each other in disbelief. Game on. Florian nods at Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Going into this final super boulder, Yoshiyuki was actually in the lead. I wonder if that's relevant when it comes down to the tiebreaker. If neither boulder...
They're neck and neck again. Yoshiyuki gets his left hand on. Flo gets his left hand on. Yoshiyuki misses the top, and so does Flo. And so we're going to listen to what Mike Hummel says. He's going to tell us what happens next.
The transition area.
So they both go back into transition. Mike's going to have a chat with head referee. And they'll probably say, stick a jug on in the middle, and then we'll bring them back out. Something along those lines.
At least they could make that little screw on to the right a little bit more positive.
So, kleiner Griff, der noch wahrscheinlich dazu kommt. Also richtig schwer, habt ihr gesehen. Da ging es richtig zur Sache. Und das ist richtig TNT jetzt.
Hier sind aber die Zeitlupe.
So, they're back in isolation, the route setters are out, and I can see, Sasha, from my position here, they are indeed changing that screw on. They've taken the blocker off, and they've moved it slightly closer.
Having that screw on a little bit more positive, both climbers were getting to the screw on quite easily. It'll just be a full-on race. You can see the sportsmanship in the crowd. What makes Adidas Rockstars so special is the athletes are not only competing, but they're just having fun.
Maybe we could ask Janja to try it. Show the boys how it's done. I think she could do that.
I bet she'd figure it out.
That was the most chill phrase you've ever said. Okay, Flo Klingler and Yoshiyuki Ogata waiting to be called back out of the transition zone.
These two guys have gone through so many boulder problems over the course of the last 2 days. It's nearly 11 o'clock. The crowd is completely jam-packed in the Porsche Arena, and they have one more race.
They were in the athlete lounge this morning at 10 o'clock. So it's over 12 hours that they've been in this building today.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. The main superfinal 2019.
So it sounds like they're coming out for another attempt at the boulder, slightly adjusted. Yoshiyuki Ogata and Florian Klingler return for one last attempt.
Here they go in the super boulder.
Bear in mind, they haven't seen what's changed. Let's see their body language as they realize. Another fist bump. Yoshiyuki realizes it's just the crimp, so does Flo. Yoshiyuki's on first, hops across, catches it, so does Flo. One hand, two hands. Yoshiyuki Ogata in the lead right now. Pops, oh, he skips it anyway! He gets to the top. He just needed a rest, and there is the buzzer. Yoshiyuki Ogata, you absolute weapon.
He didn't want any changes to that boulder problem. He wanted to demonstrate he was capable.
What I have to say about that, Sasha, is all weekend he has looked dominant. He performed spectacularly in qualifiers. He was sensational in semi-finals, and after a stunning final, he absolutely crushed that superfinal boulder. A very well-deserved victory for Japan's Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Two Japanese champions in this year's Adidas Rockstars.
Not bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your Adidas Rockstar.
We're going to go to the stage now. We'll get some words from Yoshi and see how he feels.
Yoshi, how was this feeling to stand there on the 2019? Wir gehen ein bisschen rüber, damit wir dich noch sehen, genau hier hin. So how was this feeling to stand on the top today on the Adidas Rockstar boulder?
Yeah, it was just unbelievable because this is my first time final for Adidas Rockstars, and for me this comp is the most enjoyable competition in the world. I was just unbelievable and so happy.
Thank you very much for the compliment. What do you think about the spectators here in Stuttgart?
Yeah, they gave a lot of power for me, and I found a lot of big audience and big hand claps, and it works well for me. Thank you so much.
Arigato Cosima, Flo. Wo ist Florian Klingler? Weggelaufen. So sieht's aus momentan, also der ist nochmal zurück. Get ready for the award presentation, Yoshi. We're going on the other side. Flo, hier ist er, der Zweitplatzierte.
So there was Yoshiyuki Ogata, the winner.
Wie sagt man so schön in Österreich, oder? Oida, was war das für eine Performance heute, oder?
Na, es war total schwer. Die Haut hat schon geblutet. Und ja.
Hättest du das gedacht, nach Stuttgart zu kommen und dann im Superfinale zu stehen?
Ja, wünschen tut man sich eigentlich immer, aber wenn es dann wirklich aufgeht, na, ist es ja, als wie wenn ein Traum in Erfüllung geht.
Das war mit Sicherheit ein Traum, oder? Dual Texture Wall, zum allerersten Mal als Competition Wall, als Wettkampfwall. Was anderes, muss man sich umstellen?
Ja, das auf alle Fälle.
Aber hat Spaß gemacht.
Ja.
Also, hier ist er, der Runner-Up 2019, Florian Klingler. Und wir gehen rüber zur Siegerin Flo und schauen uns nochmal
the men's winner and the men's second place, and now we get to see how Yoshiyuki got there. We see a semi-final and a finals round. Let's let this one play through, Sasha, before we go to the awards ceremony.
Spannendes Superfinale. Ja, da haben wir ein bisschen was zum Aufräumen heute Abend, glaube ich.
Ja, warum? Hättest du was sagen können, Mike. Was ein Moment, fantastisch.
Hat schon Spaß gemacht, oder?
Absolut.
Gleich sind wir soweit mit der Siegerehrung. Nach unserem Snowboard-Paket präsentieren wir euch diejenigen, die heute die Besten gewesen sind. Eins vorweg, Stuttgart, das was Yoshi ebenfalls gesagt hat. Ihr wart wieder ein unglaubliches Publikum und dadurch dürft ihr jetzt euch selber mal einen Riesenapplaus geben und eine Verneigung von unserer Seite. Thank you very much, Stuttgart. There has been an awesome crowd.
So that was, of course, how Yoshiyuki Ogata got there. Sasha, we didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but there's the results. Gregor Vezonik in 6th, Kokoro Fuji in 5th, Kai Harada in 4th. They were eliminated. Jungwon Chon in 3rd, eliminated. Florian Klingler and Yoshiyuki Ogata in the super final, Japan versus Austria. And after having to go back inside and have an adjustment, Yoshiyuki came out and won. How was that final for you?
Yoshiyuki knew that he could get to the top of that super boulder. It seemed like he just needed a little bit of rest. You know, going through the last 2 days of competitions, so many boulder problems. He had that super final, figured it out, took a rest, and fired.
Absolutely sensational. And then we'll have the prize ceremony, 3rd place, and the bronze star, the Adidas Rockstars 2019, goes to Ai Mori of Japan.
Ai Mori, the youngest competitor, so impressive. In 3rd place, representing Korea, Jungwon Chon. Such a favorite of this event.
Really great effort from Chon. He really wanted to win this year, but it still evades him.
Put your hands together for the Adidas Rockstars 2016 from Slovenia,
Janja Gambra, of course, 2nd place in this ladies competition.
Something rare to see Janja not winning, but such an incredible sportsmanship displayed by Janja. In 2nd place from Austria, it is Florian Klingler.
Takes that silver star home. Going into the finals, he was 1st place, and he was surprised by that. And coming into finals, he was still very much the underdog, but took that silver medal and took that 2nd place in style, composure, and well-deserved.
Coming up in 1st place from Japan, it is Futaba Ito with such an incredible performance throughout this competition.
And of course, taking the gold star home, crowned the Adidas Rockstars champion 2019 from Japan, the one and only Yoshiyuki Ogata.
Yoshiyuki Ogata proved such a controlled performance.
Your 3rd place winners, Jungwon Chon and Futaba Ito.
One thing I will say, Sasha, is all night I've been saying Ai's 16 years old. She actually turned 16 on Monday. So she's technically still 15, which is all the more impressive. I'm aging her too soon. She's almost 16. Amazing podium there, 6 incredible athletes. Japan as strong as ever. 2 podiums, two top of the place podiums for Japan. Yoshiyuki Ogata and Futaba Ito take their place in history.
The Rockstars of 2019. What an incredible show. These competitors, the 6 competitors, top in the world, really brought their A game to finals tonight.
They absolutely did. I don't know about you, Sasha, but I had a great time. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
You know, I need to come to more bouldering competitions.
See you there, buddy. See you there. There's plenty of them these days.
Absolutely inspiring. And also really informative about just watching the competitors and how each different competitor solved the sequences and put together these puzzle pieces.
Absolutely. And there's those checks. 5,000 euros each.
The Japanese team is going home with a full bank.
Great work from all of the athletes. Taking out their prizes, presented by David Bloss, the new sports marketing manager for Adidas Terex Global, for the climbing sector.
Thank you so much, guys. Coming to Stuttgart after the
Janja has been given a voucher for some Adidas shoes. I think she is actually an Adidas athlete, and she will be representing Slovenia in the 2020
You say whatever you want,
Tokyo
mate.
Olympics next year.
Did she well? Wow, they really do get a lot of prizes.
Yeah, you can put it on the ground as well, if it's too much. And here is your special crash pad that you can be seen as a champion. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together, the Adidas Rockstar crash pads for the champions. Stuttgart, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was an absolutely pleasure to be back in the Porsche Arena here in Stuttgart. We hope you enjoyed the great show. And let's say for the very last time, a big thank you to our great athletes, to the crushers crew, to the referees, to the wall building crew, to the whole team who is behind the scenes. This was the Adidas Rockstars 2019. Good night, have a safe trip home. We are finished.
So there, of course, the big podium, the big finish.
And what a crowd turnout tonight. This is the celebration of the finalists, the final 3 of the women, final 3 of the men.
I wonder if Chon Jong-won will ever win an Adidas Rockstars.
You know, he's been in a lot of finals, more than most.
Really brilliant. And now, of course, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from the whole weekend. We'll play for a couple of minutes and you guys can sit and enjoy and watch those at home while the competitors pick up their massive swag booty loot of prizes. Do you like that? 3 different words for prizes.
The competitors are not leaving empty-handed. And that's the crowd filing out. There's an after party that I think a lot of people are going to.
Sasha, one highlight from you before we go.
Oh, I think that it was just, let's see, Aimori. Seeing Aimori climb, it was so inspiring to me.
It was indeed. Sasha, once again, a thank you from me and from everybody at home. You did a great job and it was so fun to have you with me.
Thank you so much, Liam, and thank you to everyone who tuned in.
Thank you again to all of our viewers online, to all of our viewers at home, and to everybody here in the crowd. Thank you to the broadcast team and to the team behind Adidas Rockstars. You're all winners. We've had a great time. Thank you so much. Don't forget, Sasha DeJulian and Liam Lonsdale here. We'll be back next year. Until then, climb hard, stay psyched, and stay safe. Good evening.